Ladies and gentlemen, according to a Breitbart article a couple of hours ago, McCarthy holdout Representative Ralph Norman says there is a written deal for speakership. Okay, let's talk about that. Representative Ralph Norman, one of 20 House Republicans who voted against Kevin McCarthy for Speaker, expects a written offer between McCarthy and his opponents to be completed. Punchbowl News has reported that a deal between McCarthy and his opponents is close. Representatives Chip Roy and Patrick McHenry have reportedly been leading negotiations with McCarthy. So there is a proposal circulating, a written contract or deal that is circulating between Kevin McCarthy, and the 20 Republicans, including Matt Gaetz, for him to become Speaker, and for the 20 Republicans opposing him to pretty much get everything they want, which is a very, very good thing. I believe that Matt Gaetz will reject this initially. I think that they could very well, this is just my viewpoint on this. So it is a fact that they're getting closer in terms of negotiating a deal to get McCarthy in there, as long as almost every single one of the demands, or every single one of the demands of Matt Gaetz and Chip Roy and Lauren Boebert are met. Number one, that's a very good thing. Okay, I understand the skepticism pertaining to McCarthy. I have the same feelings as everyone else pertaining to McCarthy. I do not want another McConnell. Okay, I do not want another McConnell. However, I do think that if he gives in to every single one of the demands, the Speaker of the House position will be not only greatly weakened, Matt Gaetz and others opposing McCarthy will effectively be de facto speakers, or a de facto speaker with Matt Gaetz or other Republicans who've opposed him. Okay, McCarthy will not be able to do anything without the full support of the people opposing him right now. This is very good. This is excellent. I do, however, think that Gaetz will reject the first offer. I don't think that, just in terms of politics and in terms of negotiating, I don't think he's going to accept the first written deal. I could be wrong. This could be done today, or it could last until next week and a month later. Or next month. If it continues past 20 defeats, so if it's 12, 13, and 14 today, see, he's gone 11 straight defeats in his battle for Speaker. If it goes 12, 13, 14, or 12 and 13 today, or 12, 13, 14 today, let's say they get a couple defeats this weekend, and you go into next week, I think the threshold is 20 consecutive defeats. Then you get a complete Pandora's box of a whole bunch of things that could happen. They could recruit Donald Trump. Byron Donalds or Jim Jordan could be, vying or battling McCarthy. It's possible. Is it likely? Are those scenarios likely? No, but nobody predicted that this would last a long time. I did. I said that this would probably last a long time a couple weeks ago. But hit subscribe to this channel. I don't think Matt Gaetz will accept the written offer. Give me your thoughts below. Do you think he should accept the written offer? Every day at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. on this channel, ladies and gentlemen, H.A. Goodman. We're almost at 203,000 subscribers. It's because of you. And every day at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., I will have videos forever on this, on H.A. Goodman, this channel. We're almost at 203,000 subs. I would love to share the mornings with you. It's kind of like a radio show, or obviously YouTube is, there's information, but also entertainment. So if you enjoy these videos, I would love to share breakfast or a ride to work, your mornings with you at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. forever on this channel. So you could just, You can set your dial and set your clock to 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. every morning on this channel. And tell your friends and family we're almost at 203,000 subs because of you. Go to H.A. Goodman's other channel in 1 hour. I have a 9 a.m. and a 12 p.m. Videos on there as well. Become a member to my Patreons. Thank you so much. The Patreon support is growing, and I appreciate your support. If you want to help the channel and be a Patreon, $1, $5, $10, what? I'm just thankful. I know it's Biden's economy, so I'm thankful for anything. And I appreciate your support. The super thanks is below. If you want to become part of a newsletter, go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. I've been published a lot, and so you can see the writing on hagoodman.com. I think Gaetz' speaker stalemate could last days or weeks. There are certain things that Gaetz wants. I think that he wants a little bit more in terms of being able to depose McCarthy, and a little bit more power and influence in terms of being on different committees. I think he wants McCarthy to promise or to accept Republican efforts, thankfully, to release data, possibly declassify information that could obviously exonerate Donald Trump. I mean, not in a court of law because they don't have anything criminally. Trump hasn't committed a crime. So if you're a morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat who stumbles upon this, if you think he's committed a crime, then you have to ask also, why hasn't he been indicted? We know why Hillary, and I think Hillary will actually be the 24 nominee. I know you think I'm nuts, but I do. We know why Hillary Clinton wasn't indicted. No reasonable prosecutor. Democrats can't ever find reasonable prosecutors when they commit crimes. We know Hunter is related to Joe. So, and that's graft and potential bribery schemes right there. Okay? Trump doesn't have private servers siphoning top secret data outside the U.S. government. Trump doesn't have laptops that he loses. Okay? With clear violations of the law there. You'd have to read the New York Post. And of course, that was suppressed and silenced and censored by Twitter, who worked with government agencies and the Democratic Party to break First Amendment laws. I mean, it's all out in the open now, but again, the cognitive dissonance for many people is impenetrable. So they will never accept, like it's like that old show. Are we the baddies? Yes, they every like week or every day, every Twitter files release, there's a moment that some liberals have where they turn to each other and say, "Are we the baddies?" And the reality is they are. They're on the wrong side of history on a number of topics, especially foreign policy and domestic policy and economic policy. You could see what's taking place in the economy. It's tanking. We're going into a second recession. Biden's tenure has been marked by not just one recession. We're going into a second recession. Okay, and then when corporate profits start tumbling and they're going to decline, inflation stays at 7 to 8%. At 7 to 8%, and then you have food shortages, and you don't have 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves that Biden can just flood the economy with. Okay, you have a big problem on the horizon. Unfortunately, we do. Unfortunately, economic problem, and people voted for this because Trump was mean. His rhetoric emboldened the bad people. He was a menace to democracy. He was orange. He was boorish and rude. He devoured Christmas. He was a bad human. He's a bad person. He's a horrible person. Well, now you have inflation, real wages down 7 to 8%. You have an invasion in Europe that's a proxy battle that's going to go on forever. But the morally superior put the little symbols on the Twitter profile. They feel so good about themselves. And they'll never admit that they're the baddies. But anyway, and I say this from the vantage point, I want dreamers to become citizens. I'm also conservative on the Second Amendment. And I'm voting for Trump because I want record low poverty, which is what Trump presided over 2019. And I want the antithesis of Lincoln Project foreign policy. I don't want never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. But you have to understand, I know these, I used to know these types of people who obsess about the planet but don't mind endless wars. That type of person runs the Democratic Party or votes Democrat all over the country. Okay, I'm the reverse. I care about the planet also, but the biggest focus is preventing never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts for me. That's why when Trump negotiated the Doha Agreement and Biden completely botched it and just barely, he didn't even want to abide by it. Well, we had a situation where it was Trump that reversed U.S. foreign policy and Biden had to follow through because it was a negotiated deal. And there were too many other countries involved. And so we have a situation where you have some liberals say, oh, well, you know what? They all bailed out Wall Street. It's like, well, no. Here's the reality of the situation. Democrats, bureaucrats, media, the authorities, the good, smart people, the adults in the room, used Twitter and government agencies, now we're finding out, to silence and suppress any dialogue, discourse, debate, discussion on what took place the past couple of years. So they immediately pushed to shut down economic activity. The fuel for all of that was the Democratic Party, media, and the highly respected and educated bureaucrats and authorities and officials in the government that Democrats revere so much. And because they help everybody. And so anyone who disagreed, any dissent, was marginalized and, oh my God, the person shouldn't have been born. Oh, what a horrible human being. Notice that when a madman commits an atrocity, you will never hear condemnation from the morally superior on the left. Never condemnation of a person who commits an atrocity. It's the Republican who wanted the Second Amendment to protect himself or his family or people from that madman. That's the problem, because you know what? The inanimate object is the problem. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. I do believe Matt Gaetz will reject the first written offer. They're getting close. McCarthy will eventually, almost certainly, become Speaker of the House, but you have to understand the de facto speakership will be Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert and others, and that's a very, very good thing. You want Trump Republicans leading the country. We see mashed potato brains and what Democrats have done. They've tanked the economy and foreign policy. I mean, that's not my opinion. It's objective. The economy going into to mashed potato brains third year, into his fourth year now, third year, is objectively worse than it was under Trump. Objectively worse. And Trump did not, they say, well, you know, his tenure was marred with a terrible economy. No. I explained. Shutting down economic activity was the work of maniacs and, being redundant, Democratic governors who had a political motive also. Wasn't Trump who told Cuomo and Whitmer and Pritzker and others to shut down and their economies. That was a choice. And then the rebuttal is, well, you know, it's so chaotic. Yeah, who made it chaotic? How much trauma did people experience because of the apoplectic media coverage, where companies were making money left and right, selling hysteria? Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. I don't think Matt Gaetz will accept the first written offer. He might accept the second or third proposals. Give me your thoughts. Thanks so very, very much. Be here at 11 a.m., and I will have a live stream tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I will definitely have a live stream tonight. So be here for the live stream tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have a fun time every live stream, and thank you so very, very much for tuning in the mornings. Go to H.A. Goodman's other channel in about an hour. Thank you so very much. Have a blessed and beautiful and wonderful and awesome day. Thank you.